WEINInterview.org. Big book. Our guest is editor Lawrence R. Spencer, also author of The Oz Factors. Alien Interview, the complete and unedited top-secret transcripts of a series of interviews with an alien survivor, an ET, of the notorious Roswell UFO crash conducted at the Roswell Army Airfield 509th Bomb Group in July and August of 1947. Okay, let's proceed. Lawrence?
Okay, I just want to say one thing before I get into the letter itself. As I mentioned to you on the phone the other day, people ask me, well, where are the documents, and have you done anything to authenticate the documents, etc.? What I decided to do after a great deal of agonizing soul-searching and so forth was to burn the document. I burned out every document, including the envelopes. Reason being is because I don't want to spend the rest of my life being hounded by UFO researchers or government agents, tabloid reporters, UFO advocates or debunkers, or anybody else. I'm in no way, shape, or form willing to become a champion for documents that I can't even authenticate as being factual myself. So I decided for very, very selfish reasons to just eliminate that as a possibility. Nobody else has seen these documents, not even my wife. So I just got rid of them once and for all. I've never scanned them into a computer. I never took photographs or any way, shape, or form.
People would ask how you transcribe them into book form.
Well, I typed them. Mm-hmm. I just typed them manually into a Microsoft Word document.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had to organize the material and footnote it anyway. I decided, well, in the long run, it'd probably be faster just to type it all in and try to use optical recognition software and scan it all in. The documents weren't in necessarily the best shape. A lot of the stuff was handwritten. So anyway, that's how I did it.
All right, but you feel
I did do it letter for letter. I didn't alter anything.
You got 100% transcription. All right.
I was very, very careful and thorough not to alter any of it, not to interject my personal opinions or viewpoints into it.
Okay.
I was even careful to try in my footnotes to not put any kind of, well, I don't know if it's possible to be entirely objective. Certainly it's not. But, I did the best job I could, trying to footnote it. I think if other people go through the documents and do their own research and investigation and their own lookups and footnoting and so forth, they may come up with an entirely different set of conclusions about it than I have for myself personally. And that's the whole point.
I understand. Not to belabor it, you've stated it very well, and we'll take it for what it's worth, which those were your wishes. And those who wish to discount that on the basis of the documents no longer being around are free to do so. But there is data in there that Lawrence Spencer is making quite clear is wide open to research, to interpretation, to analysis. So there you go. All right.
Yeah, I'm certainly not the best qualified person to do this.
There are others who will.
About this than I do. For sure.
Okay, please read the letter then from...
Okay, so the letter that I received in August of 2007 says, Dear Lawrence, I'm typing this letter to you on my old Underwood typewriter that I bought after I was discharged from the Army. Somehow it seems like a fitting contrast to the subject of this letter and the document you will find enclosed in this envelope. The last time I spoke to you was about 8 years ago. Actually, it was the only time. During your brief telephone interview with me, you asked me to assist you in the research of the Oz Factors book you were writing because you suspected that I might know something that would help you your investigation into the possibility that extraterrestrial beings may have influenced the history of Earth. When we spoke, I told you that I did not have any information that I could share with you about anything. Since then, I have read your book and found it very interesting and compelling. You are obviously a man who has done his homework and who could understand my own experiences. I've been thinking a lot about your allusion to the old philosopher whom you paraphrased in our phone conversation, quote, with great power comes great responsibility, unquote. Although I don't think power is pertinent in my life or to my reasons for sending you the enclosed documents, you certainly did get me thinking about my responsibility. I have reconsidered my position for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is my realization that you were right. I do have a responsibility to myself at least. I cannot possibly tell you the personal hell of ethical irresolution and spiritual ambivalence I have endured since 1947. I do not want to keep playing the game of maybe I should have, maybe I shouldn't have, through the rest of eternity. Many men have been killed to extinguish the possibility of revealing the knowledge I have helped to withhold from society until now.
Many men have been killed.
That's what she says.
Mm-hmm.
Only a small handful of people on earth who have seen and heard what I had the burden of keeping secret for 60 years. All of those years, I thought that I had been entrusted with a great deal of confidence by the, quote, powers that be, unquote, in our government, although I have often felt that the power is greatly misguided to protect mankind from certain knowledge that not only do intelligent extraterrestrial life forms exist, but they have had and continue to have that they have and continue to aggressively monitor and invade the lives of everyone on Earth every day. Therefore, I think it is time has come for me to pass along my secret knowledge to someone who will understand it. I don't think it would be responsible of me to take the knowledge I have into my silent afterlife beyond reach and recognition. I think there is a greater good to be served than protecting the vested interest for whom this information is considered a matter of national security, whatever that means, and is therefore justification for making it top secret. Also, I am 83 years old. I have decided to leave this body, which has outlasted its usefulness to me, using a painless method of self-administered euthanasia. I have only a few months to live and nothing to fear or lose. So I have moved away from my husband. I'll give that again. So I have moved away from Montana, where my husband and I lived for most of my life, to spend our remaining days in a lovely rented upstairs bedroom in a house in the homeland of my husband's family in County Meath, Ireland. She goes on to describe a little bit about that, which is, this letter is duplicated in the book, so you can read it for yourself.
That's
The
Go ahead.
crystal clear perspective of hindsight has revealed a higher purpose to me, assisting the survival of the planet, all living beings, and life forms in our galaxy.
All right, let me ask you to stop right there, if you would.
Okay.
Assisting, pick that sentence up and read me that last sentence. Assisting.
The crystal clear perspective of hindsight has revealed a higher purpose to me, assisting the survival of the planet, all living beings, and life forms in our galaxy.
Assisting the survival of the planet. All right. This is absolutely fascinating.
Okay.
Alieninterview.org is the website. We'll be right back. Our remaining segment with Lawrence R. Spencer, the editor of the book. I would urge all of you to get this book and read it. I have not been able to do so. The parts I have seen, you can see, and they are extraordinary, to put it mildly. All right, let's get right back to our conversation. An absolutely fascinating, to put it mildly, new book called Alien Interview by Lawrence R. Spencer, edited by Mr. Spencer, who's going to read a couple more paragraphs from the letter he received from the woman who lived what we're talking about here in 1947, Matilda O'Donnell McElroy. Go ahead.
Okay, so picking up where I left off, she says, the status quo of our government establishment has been to, quote, protect the people, unquote, from knowledge of such matters. In fact, the only protection afforded by ignorance and secrecy is to hide the private agenda of those in power to enslave others, and by doing so, to disarm every perceived enemy and ally through superstition and stupidity. Therefore, I have enclosed the original and only existing copies of my personal notes and reflections on the matter, which I have kept hidden from everyone, even my own family. I have also enclosed my copies of typed transcripts created by the stenographer who transcribed all of my interviews with the alien saucer pilot after each interview was finished. I do not have any copies of the tape recordings that were made of my interview reports. No one, until now, knows that I have been able to secretly retain copies of the official interview transcripts. Now I am entrusting these documents to your discretion to impart to the world in any form or manner you documents to your discretion to impart to the world in any form or manner you see fit.